What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. Before I crack on though with this video, there has been the Manchester City 2022-2023 kit launch today, 8 AM BST here in the UK. It's live. You can go and buy it on kitbag.com. Go and check that out. All the details there in the description, and go and make use of some fantastic offers and go and be one of the first to get your hands on the new Manchester City jersey. So let's crack on then with this transfer update. We're going to start off first with the outs, and we're going to start off with an update on Fernandinho. Now, Jorge Nicola in Brazil says that Fernandinho, he has decided to join Athletico Paranaense at the end of the season. That's the end of Manchester City's season in June. He's a free contract and he is expected to leave Manchester City, and it looks like a return to Brazil is on the cards there for Fernandinho. Now, moving on, we've got an update on Liam Delap. Now, Jack Rosser at The Sun has said that Southampton, they are weighing up a loan move for Liam Delap this summer. I can see Liam Delap being a potential rotated option for Southampton next season. And I'll be honest, I think I would prefer if Liam Delap was to leave Manchester City on loan. I'd prefer for him to go to a team where he is guaranteed to start every single game, even if that means potentially not playing in the Premier League and going abroad somewhere, or maybe even dipping into a top championship club. You want him where he's playing a full season as their striker to really test and see what he can do, build up his profile, that when he's ready to join a Premier League club on loan and he's ready to start 38 Premier League games, that is when we should be doing that. And to me, I don't think that would happen. I think he'd have limited playing time, coming off the bench, making some appearances. I just feel like what's needed for a quality striker of his age is regular playing time, and that means starting, in my opinion, every single game that he is fit enough to start in, and I don't think that will happen at Southampton. Now, moving on, we've got an update on Raheem Sterling. Now, David Ornstein at The Athletic says that Raheem Sterling is going to sit down with the Manchester City Chiefs this summer after the England international duty, and he'll talk about his future. I've heard this from several sources. It hasn't been ruled out that Raheem Sterling will sign a new contract at Manchester City, and it is understood that if Raheem Sterling was to leave Manchester City this summer, so the contract talks won't be progressing any further, Raheem Sterling won't be seen as part of the long-term future for Manchester City, and that's what he's having a look at. He wants to know that he is central to Manchester City's plans, where he is going to be getting starting 11 appearances on a regular basis. He is going to be getting regular minutes and lots of minutes for Manchester City, and if he feels like that's not going to happen, then he may well leave City. And if that is to happen, he wants to join a decorative club, which apparently, according to the source, has ruled out potential moves to Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal. I think Raheem Sterling's got his eyes on like a Real Madrid or a Barcelona, and it is thought that Raheem Sterling would prefer a move abroad rather than to stay in England and test his hand there, which I have a lot of respect for. Now, moving on to another player that's contract is up next summer, Gabriel Jesus. Now, Fabrizio Romano, interestingly, has said that Arsenal, they are preparing any day now to make their opening bid for Gabriel Jesus. Jesus is expected to leave Manchester City this summer, so we will see what happens with regards to that. I have mentioned in other videos, what would you value Gabriel Jesus at, and personally to me, I'd be looking at more than £50 million. Something more than £50 million, and I'd be pretty happy with that price. I'd prefer Jesus to stay, but we'll see what happens with regards to that. Now, moving on, we've got a really big update on Ilkay Gundogan. Now, lots of news was floating around a few days ago, so we'll address that first. Now, Mike Keegan at the Daily Mail said that Ilkay Gundogan has been told by Manchester City to find a new club this summer. Got 1 year left on his contract as well. Manchester City do have the option to extend his contract by another year, but apparently Manchester City have told Ilkay Gundogan that that is unlikely to happen, and he is free to leave this summer. And going off that, he was seen boarding a private jet on Monday, and it was reported that he was heading to Madrid. So people were speculating about, was it Atletico, was it Real, or was it just a holiday? And then Sam Lee from The Athletic said that he went to Rome with his fiancée, yeah, that's again got the rumours and the speculation going about Ilkay Gundogan and what could be in store for him for next season. And then Fabrizio Romano has said that Arsenal and Barcelona, they're interested in signing Ilkay Gundogan this summer. There's also interest from many clubs in Germany as well, not a surprise considering he's a German international. So was all expecting Gundogan to leave, and I was like, that's disappointing. I don't want Ilkay Gundogan to leave. And then we had clarification from Ilkay Gundogan's now wife, not fiance. She's confirmed that they went abroad to get married, and they have been married. She said there's lots of fake news out there, and the rumours going around are not true. So firstly, I want to say a big congratulations to Ilkay and his wife on their marriage. That's fabulous news. Secondly, also shows not to jump too early towards conclusions, because The Telegraph have said that Pep Guardiola wants Gundogan to stay at Manchester City. It's been reported that Pep Guardiola is surprised by these recent stories, and his belief is that he wants Ilkay Gundogan to stay at Manchester City, which would make logical sense to me. Quality player, can play defensive midfield, can play in central midfield, can play further up as well. He's a decent player for Manchester City. I can see Man City waiting until a few months' time, maybe assessing into next season to see how he's progressing, and they have the potential to extend his contract by a further year. I can see City taking that option up if they are happy with the progress being made by Ilkay Gundogan, and if not, I can see Ilkay Gundogan being let go by Manchester City for free next summer if that's what all the parties want. What I don't see is Ilkay Gundogan being sold by Manchester City this summer. Now, if you used to say that a few days ago, people would have laughed at me, but you wait a few days and boom, there you go. That's what happens. Now, moving on to the ins, we've got an update on Frenkie De Jong. Now, Phil Thomas at The Sun has said that Frenkie De Jong, he's willing to give up £6 million in wages at Barcelona to join Manchester City over Manchester United, which is hilarious. However, don't get too excited. Fabrizio Romano has said that Frenkie De Jong, he wants Champions League football. However, he's happy to stay at Barcelona. Barcelona want to keep him, and all this is coming about because Manchester United want him. Ten Hag, the new manager at Manchester United, wants a reunion with him, and when it comes to De Jong leaving Barcelona and joining a team in the Premier League, City's name not really being mentioned at this moment in time, so do read into that what you will. And it's Manchester United and wanting a reunion with Ten Hag that's trying to push to make this happen. So I don't think there's too much interest from City. There's interest, but I don't think there's too much interest at this time. Now, moving on to an update on Enzo Fernandez. Now, Maxi Benazzi in South America says that Manchester City, they could accelerate their efforts to sign Enzo Fernandez from River Plate. We've already signed Julian Alvarez, of course, from River Plate, and Enzo Fernandez could well be the next player. He's a 20-year-old central midfielder. He has a €20 million release clause if Manchester City do want to go and sign him. That definitely is a story for me to keep my eyes and ears open for. Now, moving on again, we've got a new name. Comes in the form of Marc Cucerella of Brighton and Hove Albion. He's a left back. He's valued at £30 million. £30 million is believed to be what Manchester City are also willing to spend to bring Cucerella in. And Dominic King at the Daily Mail says that Manchester City are addressing an actual left back. An actual left back, ladies and gentlemen. Manchester City are believed to want Cucerella. So this is another one of those nice bubbling little stories that's kind of floated out of nowhere. That is a realistic transfer. To me, an actual left back, Premier League proven. He's had a brilliant season with Brighton as well. I can definitely think of worse signings out there. And it financially makes sense. The Erling Haaland transfer wasn't cheap. So to go out there and do a really good bit of prudent business like this would be good for Manchester City. And it does help to address another little teething problem that we have with a full-back. And it does allow us to use Cancelo more at right back if we need to, because we have the option to rotate Walker and Cancelo. We can put Cancelo at left back. He can be rotated when Walker's fit with Cucerella, and you can just play around with the fullbacks a little bit. And considering Alexander Zinchenko has come into question a couple of times at left back, could free Alexander Zinchenko to potentially push on either for Manchester City in midfield, or Man City could potentially have a look at the future of Zinchenko. And if that is to happen, then so be it. Zinchenko has been a brilliant servant for Manchester City. However, you just can't keep going on with playing players not in their natural positions all the time. And whilst Zinchenko has done a brilliant job for Manchester City covering at left back, he is doing just that though, covering at left back. He isn't an out-and-out left-back. We don't actually have an out-and-out left-back in our squad, so that would address that issue. And to me, that's a double thumbs up. That's a good signing, in my opinion. Now, moving on. Talk of a Fernandinho replacement. The Daily Star have said that Kalvin Phillips, he's the man that Manchester City and Pep Guardiola want to replace Fernandinho. Now, if that is to happen, I would say keep a close eye this weekend, not only on Manchester City's title race, which is where all the eyes will be on, have a look at the relegation zone. Should Leeds United be relegated on Sunday, then Kalvin Phillips will be sold by Leeds this summer, and there will be hot demand for him as well, so City may need to pay a little bit more. But you'd imagine if he was to be relegated, it's almost like the situation with what happened with Nathan Ake and Bournemouth when they were relegated, and City were willing to pay £40 million to sign Ake, and it was a very easy transfer for us to get done. And that could be the same for Kalvin Phillips, but I reckon there'll be a little bit more interest considering Kalvin Phillips is an England international as well. Now, very quickly moving on to our final story. We're still getting Erling Haaland updates. We're getting the latest on that. And Martin Blackburn has added onto the Erling Haaland release clause debate and says that there is a release clause put in his contract, but it's more than the 150 million euros that was reported. It's believed to be between 150 and 200 million euros. And BBC have also confirmed this as well on their story, saying that there is a release clause and it is in excess of 150 million euros in place for Erling Haaland when he does sign for Manchester City, which he should be joining up with the team from July 1st. So stay tuned for that. So there we go. That's been the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up. The like goal, 300 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget as well to let me know your thoughts, what you made of these transfers in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here as well. Going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates from June 1st for you guys to look forward to. Also, do not forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, kitbag.com. All details there in the description. Kitbag do have the launch for today, the 2022-2023 Manchester City home jersey. Go and check it out. Go and buy it using my link. It helps to support the future content created here on my channel. It's very important. Do press my link if you are going to get it off Kitbag. That helps to support my channel, so that's very important. So go and click that in the description and go and check it out, and go and check out all the other stuff they've got over there as well. And I'll see you all again real soon. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.